you have to be happy. If there's not a smile on your face, there's something wrong. I know people go through a lot in life. Um, there's definitely a lot of negativity in this world. I mean, there's a lot of social media. There's a lot of people taking pictures when people need help instead of helping people out. I think number one, you have to be very happy. I think you have to be driven. And I think people need to take a step back and think about it for a minute. What would make me happy?
Hello, everybody. I am Melissa Forziat of Take the Doughnut, here to help you get inspiration and get donuts. I'm a motivational keynote speaker, and today I'm bringing you a Take the Doughnut interview with Johnny Damon, who's a former Major League Baseball player and a two-time World Series champion during his time with the Red Sox and the Yankees. Hello, Johnny.
Hi, Melissa. Thanks for having me. And it's great to be on your show.
Thank you so much. And, before we ask any more important questions, I have to start with the obligatory question. What is your favorite donut if you have one?
Oh, yeah. My favorite donut is um, a strawberry with sprinkles. And every Sunday when I played baseball, we would normally have a whole bunch of donuts, and I would always go to the donuts that had sprinkles. I don't know why. It just seems like they're a lot more fun than the plain donuts. So I always tried to, or I always ate one. I didn't exceed my limit, but and it definitely got the sugar rush in me, and definitely got me ready for the Sunday early baseball games.
Oh, wow, that's a fun tradition that you all had.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they spoil you in big league clubhouses, and donuts were the easiest way to just get a quick bite to eat because they're making the omelets for guys or doing all that stuff, and I just didn't have time to sit around and wait. So the donut was always the first choice for me.
I love that. So I said just a little bit about you up front, but I'm sure there's a ton more for us to know. So tell us more about yourself. What should we know about you?
Okay, well, I grew up in Orlando, Florida. Played football, soccer, baseball, ran track. Baseball was obviously my love, and I was a really good track runner. I ran at um, the 200, the 100, finished fifth in the 100 in the state finals, number two in the 200 meters. Didn't lose a 400-meter race, but I just didn't have time to juggle baseball and track at the same time. And I was going to go to the University of Florida to play baseball and run track, but with the deals that these players have now going to school and being taken care of, I probably in today's day and age would have gone to college because I didn't really come from much. My dad was retired from the army and married my mother, who's from Thailand. They met during the Vietnam War, and she came over, worked 2 to 3 jobs, and I had to learn a lot as a kid. Like I had to learn how to drive at the age of 12 so I could get places. I had to learn how to cook, clean up the house. So when my mom got home from her long day of work, the house was clean. My brother really didn't help out much, so I was the man of the house, making sure that everything was taken care of for my mom, and my dad was out working his tail off as well. And so that's why I uh, got this work ethic, and that's why I could not pursue college, even though I wanted to go. But I think I made the right choice. By the time I would have been a junior in college, I already made it to the big leagues and spent 18 wonderful years there. And so that's a little bit about me, winning a couple championships. And right now, I'm working my tail off. I have this very clean hydration drink called A Game, and we are in the Northeast, Shaw's Stop and Shop, Giant. We struck a great deal with Polar Beverages out of Worcester, Mass. And we do have this product out in Arizona and Southern California will be happening soon, but you can go check out drinkagame.com. I've got Tyler Adams, the men's captain on the soccer team, which I'm actually going to go watch play tonight here in Orlando. And we also have Bo Jackson, Jorge Masvidal. So we have a strong team of guys, but this is my company. I'm the chairman, the CEO, and you always have to bring your A game. So that's the name of it. And it's very clean, no artificial flavors, coloring. Definitely better than donuts for you.
Totally true. Take the A game. Uh, what an incredible journey. Even just, that summary that you told us really gives us a sense of this journey that you've had and how far you've come in your life. I'll set this up for everybody here. For those who haven't seen an interview with me before, this is a Take the Doughnut interview. And for me, that means carpe diem. It's all about going after the things that you want in life. And it comes from this very strange thing that happened to me in college where I left an actual donut on a table, but it became an object lesson for me in what it looks like to leave opportunity behind. So I don't want to do that anymore. I want to take the donut. And that's what I say to myself. And so this conversation is basically all about going after the things that you want in life and what it looks like, practically speaking, when you try to do that. So I'll start with this question. And I think we're already getting a sense of your answer just by how you introduced yourself. But how are you with going after goals? What is that process like for you?
Oh, well, it's a great process because I'm going after something that I want to achieve. Whether it was like playing baseball, I wanted to be a Major League Baseball player. So ever since I was the age of 6, I was always the better player on the team, and I saw that and the progression that I made. So I kept wanting to do better and better, and I wanted to make the high school team as a freshman. I wanted to get a college scholarship so my parents didn't have to worry about that financial burden. And so I got that full ride to the University of Florida, and then Kansas City Royals came calling, and I didn't really have a great senior year. Like everything I hit found the glove. So the stats weren't great, but I wanted to prove myself. So when the Royals came, we struck a deal, and I wanted to show everybody that I should have been higher in the draft. I ended up winning the MVP of that league. We won the championship. So that was a very important goal I wanted to reach as a young kid. And um, it came true. Won 2 championships in the 3 years of my minor league time and won 2 MVPs. So, I was off to a great start and I just had to keep going.
Well, let's talk about the keeping going part. When you're going after something that you want, especially some of these really big goals like what you're talking about, a lot of times it takes time, it takes a duration of effort to get to that point. How do you stay motivated in that process?
Okay, well, the main reason why I wanted to play Major League Baseball was because I saw George Brett hoist a World Series trophy, and I said, that's exactly what I want to do. Not knowing how difficult it was going to end up being and how much you have to rely on the other guys, your teammates, your family to overcome tough times. 2003 was definitely very tough, losing game 7 and then being down 3-0 to the Yankees. There's a lot that has to go your way to be able to be um, a champion. And fortunately enough, things worked out. But that was my goal from the beginning. I mean, you never really start playing baseball because the money's going to be fantastic. You play because you love the game. The money and everything that comes with it at the major league level is fantastic, especially for what the players union has been able to do for these players. I mean, the salaries keep going up and up, and I know a lot of these players are doing really great things with all that money they're making. But it's the goal for me was always to win a championship, and fortunately, I was able to win 2.
And it's interesting because you've said it verbally, but you also had an image in your head of somebody hoisting a trophy,
Yeah.
being the winner and having that visual in your head that you could move towards. Did you find that you visualized a lot as an athlete as well?
Yes, I did visualize a lot as an athlete. I feel like if you can put positive thoughts in your head, that's a lot better than thinking negative anytime in your life. Whenever there's negative thoughts in someone's head, it's not good. It's not positive. I mean, I know this is sounds a little redundant, but you always have to have positive thoughts in life. How you um, raise your kids, how you treat your wife, like everything has to be positive. If there's something negative, there's something wrong. And I've always been a very positive guy, and I guess that's why I always have a smile on my face.
Yeah. So, when you're going after things that you want, even though we're keeping it positive, a lot of times challenges come up along the way. It's, not easy to go after the things that you want. And so for you, is there any particular brand of challenge that just keeps coming up for you, sort of no matter what goal you're going towards? Maybe an Achilles heel that always rears its ugly head for you?
Yeah, I feel like, especially in the game of baseball, you have to take chances. Say in 2009, when I was with the Yankees playing the Phillies, if I didn't try to steal second base, and fortunately I was able to steal second and third at the same time, if I didn't put that in my head because I wanted to score a run, I wanted to win this World Series, and sometimes you have to put it on your back because. Um, you're going to fail a lot in life, and it's how you bounce back. And I wasn't thinking of failure. Um, if I got thrown out, then that's something that I'm going to have to live with it. But I did not want to live looking back saying, "What if I would have stole that base?" I was in that moment. I was like, "I'm going to do what I can to help the team," and that's that's what I That's what I did. We won, but there are times in life where you keep getting knocked down. And fortunately for me, baseball is the toughest sport because we have fans yelling at you. I've been loved and hated everywhere. And people don't realize how mean people are to baseball players. Like football players don't really get it. Basketball players don't get it. They kick them out of the stadium if they get yelled at. And baseball players, we had batteries thrown at us, we had quarters, we had all that stuff thrown at us, and you can't tell who's doing it because there's thousands of people doing it to you. So you have to be tough as a baseball player. I think that's why baseball is losing a lot of the younger generation because they can't take the failures. Um, if you fail 7 out of times in baseball, you're considered really good. And I don't think kids want that ratio. I think kids want to be successful 100% of the times, and unfortunately it doesn't work that way. But now that I'm in the business field, working on a game, there's ups and downs in that as well, but it's the toughest market to get into. I mean, Gatorade's been around forever. They're always going to be the name that people say when they talk about hydration drinks. And I want people to start saying, I'm going to bring my A game every single day, every single moment of my life, whether doing an interview, whether being a parent, a teacher, an athlete. You always hear the athletes say after a great performance, they brought their A game. They never talk about bringing their C game, their F game. Coco Golf last year did say she had her C game in the semis, and then after she won, she said she definitely brought her A game today. So I thought that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it just really makes me think about how much sort of mental fortitude you have to overcome all of the outside pressures that are happening in addition to the internal ones. I'm curious if you had any tricks for that, especially, in there are moments when you have a hot streak, it's probably not that hard, right? But
Right.
when you're doubting yourself and then you hear people doubting you as well, did you have any tricks for kind of overcoming that feeling?
Uh, yeah, I did have some tricks to always try to make myself feel better, whether I felt horrible in the batter's box. if the bat didn't feel good, it's like, why am I taking a bat up to the plate that doesn't feel good in my hands or whatnot? But yeah, there's been times in my career, I would probably say 2007. That was my second year with the Yankees. The first year leaving Boston, it was about proving Boston wrong, about not trying to bring me back. So, we end up winning our division. Boston finishes in fourth place, and then the next year, Boston goes out and spends the money that they said they didn't have for me. So that was very crushing. But also heading into the 2007 year. My wife and I had our first child together. So obviously another person to love. I had a number of um, former players who passed away, like Corey Lytle. I was supposed to be on that plane with him, but if we did not lose in the postseason to Detroit, we would have continued to play. And on a off day, I would have flown around the city with him. And, that really got to me. And fortunately, my wife, after we got to New York that night from Detroit, she goes, let's pack up our stuff and let's start driving and see how far we can get tonight. So we got past like Washington, D.C. that night and made it to New Smyrna Beach, Florida the next morning. And that's when I heard about Corey. And going into the season, I was just not ready. And then sure enough, season starts. Tori asked me to lose 15 pounds when my playing weight's 220. He wants me to be 205. So do my best. And when I drop weight, um, it's just not the same. Pulled my calf muscle, and it just seemed like everything going on that year was just a domino effect. Get out of a cab, my back hurts. I can't move for a couple of days. Taking batting practice in Colorado, uh, I have a tooth pop out, and it's like, okay, what else can happen? And then finally, around just past the half point of the season, I finally was like, okay, I got to get my butt into gear if we're going to make the playoffs. And sure enough, I got healthy, and but that was the longest of my career. It was like a 6 month thing where everything just kept going wrong, and I just hated going to the ballpark. I hated um, just being away from my newborn and all that stuff. So I know I'm a little sobby. I'm a big family guy, but it's tough when you lose teammates. And it seems like recently there's been tons, and like even when you're playing, when that kind of stuff happens, it just absolutely crushes you.
Yeah. And so you kind of root yourself in the real life stuff that's happening around you and you move through it. And then, you hope to find your way to a better season of your life at some point.
Yeah, yeah, it's a tough and grueling game because you spend time with your teammates a lot more than you spend time with your families during the course of the season. And yeah, it took me a little while to get through it. Still something that I'll never forget. Thank my wife for saying, "Let's get home. You guys lost, and it's time to move on." So I guess that's the um only time I feel like losing a series was like uh, worth it.
Kind of saved your life in a
Yeah,
way. Yeah, it's
definitely.
amazing. When you think back historically, and I'm curious what you'll pick for your answer to this, what would you say is the biggest donut you've ever taken? Personal, professional, recent, long past
The biggest uh
donut you've ever taken, like biggest opportunity that's come your way that you said yes to, or
yeah,
what feels like it really changed the course of things for you?
I would say my days in Kansas City, like I loved it. I wanted to stay in Kansas City forever. And they came and offered me a contract, and they said if I took this contract, we would have to trade Mike Sweeney and or Jermaine Dye. And these guys are my brothers. And I knew how much they wanted to stay in Kansas City, how much I wanted to. And I pretty much told the team, do what you have to do. I can't take this contract. I'll keep playing year to year. So I get traded, and obviously miss Kansas City, but this was my time to go learn more about myself, learn more about um, playing a different style of baseball, uh, playing winning baseball. So I get traded to Oakland. I finally get to the playoffs for the first time in my life, and there's nothing quite like doing that. And then obviously just jumping to Boston and just changing the culture of Red Sox fans forever. We brought a nation together. We erased the curse. We did a lot of great things for Red Sox Nation, and I would say uh, the biggest change was to accept this is a game that sometimes you have to change teams and um, change your life.
Mm. Is there a donut that you're taking right now? Something currently in progress? Maybe it's a game, maybe it's something else.
Yeah, it is definitely a game right now. I mean, as I mentioned, we are in the toughest industry out there with Gatorade, Powerade still out there. Um, Body Armor's done fantastic with, I mean, that's Mike Rapoli. I mean, vitamin water, Pirates Booty, Kind Bars, all that stuff. So he's definitely a guy you want to look up to in this industry. But what I wanted to bring to um, the users was something that was very clean and something that will actually help you, because there's a lot of drinks out there that are being banned. There's forever chemicals, there's artificial flavors, there's all kinds of stuff. And this, I mean, it's very, very clean and it actually works. And you guys send me your address later. I'll definitely get some out to you. We also have sugar free as well. I know a lot of people love that sugar free kick, but I like regulars, whether it's sodas or whatnot. So, but this is something that I've been working very hard with, been doing a lot of traveling, been getting into a bunch of stores and just making sure that everybody knows the message, what we are sending. And I would love for this to be absolutely everywhere at a great cost as well, because I know American families are struggling with the cost that everything that's going on right now. The cost of everything is so high, and I want to be cost efficient. I want people to have the very best, and that's why I got into it.
Oh, that's wonderful. There may be people who are listening to this who have something that they want to do in their lives. Maybe it's still just an idea for them, or maybe they've started and they're not sure how to move forward. So let's sprinkle some encouragement. And what would you say to those people who have a goal in mind? They're just not sure what that next step is.
I think the biggest thing is you have to be happy. If there's not a smile on your face, there's something wrong. I know people go through a lot in life. Um, there's definitely a lot of negativity in this world. I mean, there's a lot of social media. There's a lot of people taking pictures when people need help instead of helping people out. I think number one, you have to be very happy. I think you have to be driven. And I think people need to take a step back and think about it for a minute. What would make me happy? Maybe pursuing a girl, maybe thinking about family situations. Like you always want to make your kids happy. A lot of people stick into relationships too long, and it's not healthy for anybody, and everyone's being drained. Unfortunately, that's a very negative thing in people's lives. But if you're not happy in it, you have to move on. And I did that with my first wife. I mean, we had to have a heart to heart, and say none of us are happy. Let's make this decision for the kids, and my kids are 25 years old now, and you know, my son paid for soccer tickets for me tonight to go to the game. So I'm very happy we raised a very strong man who has a job, who has a house, who so together with us being happy, we were able to push our kids in a very positive way.
Mm, I like that it's sort of at the root, no matter what else is happening, going for that sort of base state of pursuing what makes you happy
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
driving force for you.
yeah. I mean, there's so many tough things in life, but you have to, you know, realize what is going to make you and everybody around you happy. And I try to do that every single day. And like my puppies are all around me at my feet right now because they are very happy and they do they follow me everywhere. And I think it's cool, except when I start tripping around the house.
Exactly. Well, tell us where we can find you if we want to stay up to date with what you're working on, maybe find a game. How do we do that?
Okay, yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Johnny Damon. Uh, that's about it. Like I'm like past that social media stage. I mean, I have someone who helps me. My wife helps me with social media as well. You can check out at Drink A Game. Go to drinkagame.com. We're about ready to come out with our um, new website. You know, we've had to update it, but there's so much going on. I'm traveling all over the place. Be up in Omaha. There's actually a high school World Series coming on now. I'll spend some time on ESPN there. Um, but just doing my loops. I enjoy playing golf. I try to play at least once a week. This time of year during the fall season when the weather gets nice in Florida, I'm out there 2, 3 times. But I enjoy it. I have a great time. I play soccer um, with my team for 12 years now, and it's getting harder and harder because all of us have gotten older. You know, we're like 50 years old going up against 25-year-olds who just got out of college who can run all day long. So I'm trying to stay as healthy as I can. I'm trying to push my product, and trying to keep my 8 kids happy. You know, they're running all over the place, and it's fun. But you know, they're going to help me out quite a bit with this. I've gotten great pictures with them with the A game product, and they're all great athletes, and it's just been a fun journey to see them grow. And finally, it's a lot easier to travel with them because at one time when all the kids were around, we had a newborn, a 1 year old, twin 4 year olds, we had a 6 year old, we had a 7 year old, and we had twin 14 year olds. So now the baby's 7. It's a lot easier for us to get around and have fun.
As an introverted person, I just can't I can't even process what your
Yeah.
life must be like. I don't know
We
how I
definitely
would
had to get
survive
used to
it.
it. It's not easy, and I feel for people, but I love it. I'm used to it, and you know, I'm enjoying life.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Well, first of all, everybody be sure to check out those resources. And if you liked hearing Johnny's story, be sure to like and subscribe on this video. We have so many more inspirational interviews still to come. But in the meantime, Johnny, thank you so much for taking a bit of time and talking with us about going after opportunity in life.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, and all you watchers, go out, live your dream, live happy, and always bring your A game.
I wanted to pause there for dramatic effect. Okay, everybody, you know what to do. Go out there, get inspiration, and get donuts. Bye, everybody.